Welcome to Gotta Love Connecticut Hockey. I'm Ashley Leach. Today, the Mid-Fairfield Yankees and the Connecticut Wolfpack PeeWee Majors face off against teams from New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont in the PeeWee Tier 1 New England Regional Tournament. The competition will be fierce, and speaking of competition, it's time to vote in our March Photo of the Month contest. View the finalists and vote at gottalovecthockey.org by Friday, March 21st. These Peewees are proud to be here, and we're hoping for a big win. Let's check out the action. So tell me a little bit about today's event.
Well, today we're hosting the New England PeeWee Tier 1 Regional Tournament, which is the top Tier 1 teams in the New England region playing for the New England Championship.
How does it feel to represent Connecticut in a regional tournament?
It feels good because there are not a lot of Connecticut teams here, and I feel like we're going to get far in this tournament.
Well, you just get to show what your state is made of.
To play against teams that you've never really played against is really cool.
We want to take back the hardware for Connecticut.
Well, I think it's really neat. The kids have worked hard all year, and we told the kids, you're representing, the organization, you're representing the state.
With us in Mid-Fairfield being the two CHC programs that represent Connecticut, it seems as though every year Connecticut has the two teams that battle it out. Hopefully we'll be able to play Mid-Fairfield and have a good showing.
What's the best part of playing teams across New England?
You don't get to play some of these teams from New Hampshire all the time.
You get to meet some new kids, and there's some tough teams all over the region.
Teams from Vermont, Hampshire.
You really never know what they're made of.
What's the best part of being able to compete to be known as New England's best?
It's a great opportunity and a great honor for the kids. It is a very difficult thing to achieve.
It's what we've talked about with the kids all year, and they know that this is the last tournament. This is a big tournament. It's an honor for the team to have it and to bring it back to the organization, to have that banner that sort of represents the fact that you're the best team in the region.
Explain the differences between tiers 1, 2, 3, and then open.
Tier 1 is our highest level. That is our top elite players.
Connecticut has two Tier 1 programs. One is Mid-Fairfield, and the other is the Connecticut Wolfpack. Those are the two recognized Tier 1 programs that go on to compete for the district championships.
Tier 2 is the next level of hockey, and those are kids who are also going to play at a high level, will probably go on and play high school and prep school hockey.
Each CHC registered program is allowed to field teams at the Tier 2 level if they feel they're competitive enough.
Tier 3 is our lowest of our three, what I would call competitive tiers of hockey. That's for some of the smaller programs and some of the more diverse areas of the state.
Then you have the open division. That is where people can register their teams through USA Hockey. USA Hockey wants to accept everybody into the family and hopefully get them to the point where they join Tier 2 and Tier 1, potential opportunities.
So you coach a Tier 1 team, top kids in our state. How do you get them ready? Do you have that responsibility?
Yeah, we feel a great responsibility to make sure we're teaching them the skills and how to play the game the right way so that these kids can move on to play at Bantams, and then the goal for most of our kids is to play high school, play in prep school, and then eventually play in college.
We try to set up the hardest schedule we possibly can so the kids are competing against other kids their own age at top levels.
What do you and your teammates do to get ready both mentally and physically?
Well, we have our warm-up where we stretch.
And everybody goes in the locker room. It's either crazy or focused.
We do warm-ups, we do regular stretches, we tape our sticks.
Eat well, practice hard.
We always do our plyometrics an hour before, and then we just go in the locker room and everybody's just talking about the game.
Orange Gatorade before every game, certain warm-ups, certain stretches.
What do you do to get your players ready mentally and physically for tournaments like this?
You're playing 2 games in a day,
Yes.
so you want to keep the kids hydrated and rested in between, which is hard because they're 12 and 13 and they like to run around and move around. But mostly just to tell them to take care of their bodies and try to drink water and eat the right way so they're ready physically, and then mentally just when you get to the rink for that hour before the game and during the game, just be focused and just be ready to play.
Most of our focus has been how are we going to be able to compete against Mid-Fairfield. But at the same time, the tough part as a coach is to have your team ready for everybody in the tournament, not just one team.
How do you develop players through the tier system?
Well, our goal with the tier system is really to develop players at the younger ages in their local programs. As they get older, we'll start to see them moving to the more competitive Tier 2 and eventually Tier 1 teams. The best players coming to Tier 1, which will allow them to compete with the other best players throughout the state in New England and in many cases throughout the country.
What has been your favorite moment so far from this weekend?
Probably since we won our first game.
We got like 2 penalty kill goals right away.
Just hanging out with my teammates, getting ready before the games.
Fun to play with our teammates. We have a great group of kids, and they're all funny too.
On the ice, winning the first game. Off the ice, sleepover last night.
Kids came out and played well last night and got that first W. So far that's the highlight, and hopefully we got a couple more along the weekend.
What recommendations do you make for parents that are trying to get their kids through the tier system?
I would recommend that parents, first and foremost, make the game fun for the kids at whatever tier they're playing. If you do have a player who is a highly skilled player, what you really want to do is keep challenging him to move up to the next tier. Maybe it's if you're a tier 2 player, you attend a tier 1 tryout and see how your player does in comparison to the other players who are at that level.
What is the toughest part of playing in a tournament?
Coming prepared and focused every game.
The games, you have so many, you just have to keep yourself hydrated and fuel yourself properly. You might have a game early in the morning and then late at night, the night before.
The toughest part for me is to keep the kids focused on each game, not looking toward Sunday afternoon, knowing that they have to play 3 difficult games to make Sunday morning.
These players have certainly risen to meet the challenges of regional competition. We're proud of everyone who represents Connecticut and knows that you just gotta love Connecticut hockey.